Bass Pro Shops back in the house. And as you can probably tell, I did pick up the St. Croix Victory SB Ranger rod. So swimbait Ranger, I guess, is what that is short for. Now it's a 7'10", heavy power, fast action. It's got the SC whatever plus carbon, 14 to 80 pound line, 3/4 to 3 ounce. Now it's kind of a parabolic rod, but this rod should be able to throw well over 3 ounces. Like some of the baits we have coming are, and they also showed up. Our baits from AliExpress, they didn't show up, but they showed up on the tracking deal. Just sent me a notification before I started this live stream, and they are in the States, it said. So some of those baits are up to 4 ounces. I think this rod will have no problem throwing a 4 ounce bait. Like a 6 ounce bait, that'd probably be pushing this rod, but this rod feels very, like I feel I can throw well over an ounce with my Super Destroyer, and this rod is like way stiffer. Anyway, we'll find out. But I picked up the Victory rod from Bass Pro Shops. The this right here, it's a lightweight. So I did I weighed this rod while I was up there. It is just under a 6 ounce rod. It's like 100 and I want to say 68 grams. So the 7 foot tequila baccarat I have coming, I believe, on Digitaka's site shows 158 grams is what it weighs. So it's only 10 grams lighter than this rod, and it's 10 inches shorter, but it is, the ratings on it are up to, I believe, 4 ounces. So it may feel a little stiffer than this rod, I'm not sure. But this rod just felt good. When I was up there and put this rod in hand, I'm like, wow, this rod just, it has that good, like I've talked about, you've heard me talk about this before, the forgiving rods, like it's kind of parabolic. It's got a little bit, I don't want to say soft tip, but it's definitely, I don't know, just the bend of this rod. And once I get out where I can show you guys in the sun and the bend and all that, and we'll probably wait till, because the tequila baccarat shipped today, so it should be here this weekend. I should be able to get out and, you know, throw some of the baits that we already have. Like the biggest one I'll probably be able to throw is just the S-Waver 168. We'll be able to compare, I guess, those, you know, just how far or whatever they can throw those kind of deal. But the only downside to this rod is that the fact it is 7'10" and it doesn't break apart or anything. It does have, I'm not a huge fan of these reel seats. It's comfortable, but it's got like the typical, some of the Loos have this style to where there's no, you know, direct contact with the blank material. So it's got a solid, it's a very comfortable feel, and with this combo looks very good. That reel looks crazy small once you get this rod out, like looking away from it a little bit. That Zillion looks crazy small. So I'm not sure what, if the Zillion, this will probably be the what I fish it with, and then I'll probably get an actual, I'll probably get another Steez Limited. I don't know if I want to get another 7-to-1. I definitely need, or I may just put the spool. I think I may just get another shallow spool and the deep spool that came on the 7-to-1 that's in the other. I'll take that reel that's on the Super Destroyer, put on the Tequila Baccarat, and just put another shallow spool on that. Maybe. I may buy another 7-to-1 and then switch that around also. So the shallow spools will be in the 7-to-1s, the deeper spools will be in the 5-to-1s, that kind of thing. But I also have, the colors are way off. I still could bring the other Steez and put it into play, and that's a possibility. I'll do it, the HLC, because it casts and works very well now also. So still up in there on that. I just want to get this video out here and show you guys. And remember, I'm dropping another video tonight, but it's the same video I dropped, was it this morning or whenever, yesterday. That video was kind of jacked a little bit. So if you watched it, you know what I'm talking about. It drug on too long in one section where there's nothing going on because the way I edited the footage, I don't know how I missed it. It didn't cut where it should have, and it threw another one back in. But I went back and fixed that video, so I'm going to delete the old video, the SV3 Megabass knockoff video. Delete it, put this one out. So it's going to have the same name, look like the same video, but it's going to look like I released it again. So I'm just giving you guys a heads up. The only way I know how to do it to replace it, that way in the future it's the right video and not a screwed up edited video. So, and it's, believe it or not, it still is not completely loaded onto my from my computer to YouTube yet. That's what the biggest process in editing videos is. I've got this laptop that probably is outdated now, 5 years, however long it's been. It needs to get updated or go bye-bye, and I need to upgrade at some point. But we're spending too much money on tackle. We ain't got time to mess with computer stuff, right? So if you're new, completely new to the channel, haven't seen any videos to do with bass and bonsai, this handle Gomexes can be bought off of AliExpress for $54. I shaved these down slightly, made them feel better for me. They come a little more like a ball shape here. But awesome power crank. I don't even know if we'll need it or not, but it does look good. Like, it does not seem big and out of place. Once you put this reel on this rod, it's like, it's go time. You can definitely do some cranking and yanking. This rod will probably be also utilized for other things, bigger type deal. If I go catfishing with Charles, this will be the one of the ones. It and the tequila back rack, I'll probably take catfishing. So if you get a swim bait rod, I don't go full swim bait yet. I haven't gone all the way to one of those big monster like the one. I did make it up to Shields tonight. I was going to weigh that rod. That rod is an 8-foot rod and definitely heavier than this rod. Oh, I can't think of the name of it now, but the Orochi, I think it's called Leviathan. That thing is a monster compared to this. This is like just on the verge. It's past your traditional stuff, but it's probably not much more than some of you guys use for like a heavy pitching, flipping type rod. Like, it's not insanely out of place. It is 7'10", but it feels almost like the 7'6" to 9 carbon light rods. It has that kind of a feel to it, like the ones, if you guys saw, I was in a video fishing one Matt had. I was trying it out. So I did check to balance this out with this Zillion. I would need 3 more ounces on the back of this rod, and it would have a complete balance feel. 3 ounces is a lot, so I will get it out and actually fish it both ways, with and without the balance, and see if whether I would want to keep it or not. Because generally with swim baiting, you're kind of tuck that. It's got this long. I guess I'll try to show you guys. It's got this crazy long handle compared to a regular one. You kind of tuck that up under, your arm, and kind of do it like that, so it's maybe not in the rod. Kind of, you don't have to have the rod like up. It's definitely. But if I decide to use this for, like, maybe I want to go crazy heavy jig and flipping, and I could probably throw the probably on the tequila back rack or this, I could throw that 1.5-ounce chatterbait, maybe some of our 3/4-ounce spinner baits, because this is a rod. Like any bigger type hooks, you could also use it. It's definitely overkill unless you're around some big fish kind of deal. So how often I'll use it, utilize it, whatever, is yet to be seen, but I figured I'd get this one because I just liked it. Now, Jay and some of you guys want to know my opinions, or want me to get like the budget ones, the $100 ones. I don't even know if I want to. If I did, there's 3 that I've just glanced at that caught my eye. One's a Daiwa. Daiwa has, it's like an all cork. I think up here's a little cork, and then down there they make some. I can't remember the exact name of it. You can go to Tackle Warehouse and just look up under. Actually, they have a section for swimbait rods, but that is not all they have. If you go to Tackle Warehouse, there's a lot of other rods. Brew Tank was asking me about the X-Pride. X-Prides, they make like in a 7-Eleven, which is probably similar to this rod. And that would probably be a good option. I don't know if I would ever get one. Maybe, maybe not. I mean, I have the other X Pride, and they are awesome rods. But I kind of wanted the Victory felt good. Plus, I know I want to get eventually just the kind of stuff I'm gonna fish, but to help kind of, I don't know, spread out and, you know, because if this Victory rod feels real good, I'll check just, you know, a lot of times the feel in hand and once you're out on the water fishing is a little different, but it may let me look at a few other of their sizes in the Victory line because it's a fairly new one. They look good, and of course anything St. Croix is pretty much built good, but we'll check that out. But the Daiwa, the 13 fishing, I want to say it's the not the fake black, it's the Indy black or something. It's a cheap $100. These are all like 100. I think the Daiwa was 109. The 13 fishing swim bait rod is like 99, and then the SLX is another one. SLX has and then if you go up from that, actually Dobbin's Fury, there's several close to that, but then you can go up from that. Like there's a couple rods in the Zodius line. They won't show up under the swim bait rods in Tackle Warehouse. You kind of got to go to individual. If there's a rod that brand you like, you can look in there and see. Because basically, you need something that's going to show a rating over 2 ounces. A lot of your pitching and flipping sizes, like they may say heavy, but then they only go up to 1.5 ounces or 2, or I mean ounce and a, yeah. So like 1.5 ounces or 2 ounces, not up higher. And then you kind of want to see a picture on them. It's better really when you're looking at stuff like that on Tackle Warehouse, in my opinion, to be looking at them on a computer. You can like break down each rod actions and sizes, and it'll show you the handle. Now normally if you click it on your phone on the side, that one should show you the right handle it comes with, but then when you go into individual pictures it won't. But you kind of want to make sure for swim baiting, if it was designed and made for swim baiting, it should have a longer handle. There are some rods like the Carbon Lights up at Bass Pro. They make a 7'9", I believe it was, heavy action. It's rated up there for like 3 grams, but it's got a regular. The handle length is just like all the other Carbon Light 2.0s, but it's definitely a higher rating than the like a 7 foot, the 7'3". I think even 7'6" heavy isn't as high a rating as a 7'9". So maybe that was their take on, you know, getting to just into that swim baiting, big bait type rod in that 7'9". But on the ends like these, there's several options in Dobbins, the St. Croix, the Shimano, of course. The Zodius is probably your maybe best bang for your buck there. Of course, if you watch Tactical Bassing, I want to say it's 966, one of the Loomis rods they recommend, but those are always out, and that's like the 13 fishing is out. So I'm kind of, this is what I'd call mid-level, mid-range, that like 3 and 4 ounce and $250. This was $264 for this rod, but it's lightweight for a swim bait rod, and it's got that, it's just got a good kind of a parabolic bend in a heavy action, but not, it's not, it's graphite. It's not a or carbon graphite. It's not any kind of glass, so it's not as soft as what some heavy action glass rods would be. Like you don't want to throw little you know, this isn't a spinnerbait, chatterbait rod or nothing like that. It's definitely big baits, you know, big trebles or big not too big, but pretty big jig hook. Like it's got enough power, you can set a lot of bigger type hooks, and it's got enough bend. And we'll just try it. I'm sure that there's, you know, I'll try to find the limits on, you know, how small of a treble hook bait can you keep a fish pinned on, or how big of a single, you know, jig style hook can it set the hook on, kind of deal on this one, on the tequila back rack when it comes. How big a bait can I throw with them? Will it cover all the baits I have? And if I want to go to one rod up. Because if I do go higher than this, that may be where I go into the true budget. Because that's definitely something I wouldn't be throwing regularly. I plan on the tequila back rack, and honestly, this rod too, probably utilizing for a few other things. So I'll use them more, so I spend a little more money. If I go to like because I think the 711 X Pride is rated somewhere around this rod, maybe even less. Maybe it's 3 ounces or 2.5. I don't know. It's right around there. They make an 8 foot extra heavy or something, and it just says I don't even think it says a low end. It just says 10 ounces plus, or I don't know. It's crazy. I saw that. I'm like, dude, that's got to be like a broomstick. So I don't know, and it's out anyway also. So this rod should do us well. We're going to find out. The 115 gram baits, which are about 4 ounces, the 105 gram baits, and some of the smaller ones are coming. So stay tuned. Hopefully this weekend we'll get a shot at the tequila back rack and this, we'll just call this the Ranger. The Ranger, SB Ranger, St. Croix Victory rod, Destroyer, tequila back rack, our first two. This is our first one because it's the first one I've got my hands on. I'm using, got a feel for it. But the tequila back rack, it was the first one I bought. It just isn't here yet. I think it shipped today. So anyway, hopefully you like this video. I'm going to get out of here, and I still got to put all these baits up. I don't know. I've got a lot of stuff I got to get taken care of here pretty quick. Thanks for watching, guys. Get out, go bass and bonsai. Stay tuned for more swim baiting, and I'm going to try to put together a video where we go out. Maybe Charles is going. He's out of town. I think he said Wyoming this weekend fishing. Matt's got stuff going on. It'll probably be just me going solo swim baiting and stuff like that. But at some point, I'm going to try to put together a maybe BFS versus big bait deal. Maybe I'll throw the big stuff, have Charles throw BFS since he loves throwing BFS stuff. And like everything though, like, so I'll be throwing big whopper ploppers. I'll have him throw little whopper ploppers because that's kind of BFS. You can throw on, I'm talking like bass fishing BFS stuff and then big bait stuff. And so some options while you guys, like, just for swim baits only, those rods you can utilize for other stuff. For example, the bigger heavy spinner baits. They make big, heavy chatter baits also. You can get, if you guys have seen those big, huge TRDs, they've got pretty big jigs. There's a lot of other things also, so I may just do like a big bait versus BFS or, small bait stuff. But we'll still be throwing maybe Charles. Maybe we'll pick baits and like that are sizes and just to see, and we're definitely going to want to, I think we're going to want to go to a honey hole to where we know fish are going to be caught and see, it'll kind of let us see how many little fish do you stand to lose fishing big baits only, but is there a huge bigger bite to be had? I feel if you go out to a place to where the bite's tough, it's a no-brainer that your smaller finessey type stuff's going to get you more. But if you were out there on that same thing, do you have a chance at 1 or 2 bites? But it's kind of like a intensified version if we go to a place known for, and I'm not even sure which place we would go to, but there's one we call the Grass Pit. I think it would be a good place to put together a little shootout between, because there's always a bite going on, and so because I'm curious. With big baits, like how, can you still catch dinks on, 4 ounce, big 8-inch baits, 6-inch, and all that kind of stuff, on like a whole period of time? Because I'll be honest, I normally, and I don't plan on doing that full, like all day in and day out, but I wouldn't mind putting a video together just so you guys and me can see what that is. So I'll be looking forward to that down the pipeline. I'm still editing on the video between the big blade, the mini max, and a regular chatterbait, and you'll be kind of surprised at those results. I was kind of surprised, and that was just in like a little hour and a half, 2 hour span, but it kind of surprised me. Those, yeah. So anyway, stay tuned for that. I don't give away any spoilers. So get out, go bass some bonsai, whatever you do, make sure you have fun doing it. I'm gonna try to get this place organized.